All right. So let's just kickstart this session. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are excited to welcome you on this webinar, which is around securing your Dynamics 365 ERP environment. As many of you know, Dynamics 365 ERP powers some of the most critical business operations, typically around finance, supply chain, HR, and more. With so much sensitive data flowing through these systems, ensuring success, secure access isn't just a best practice, it is absolutely mandatory. In this session, we'll walk you through why securing your Dynamics 365 ERP is so crucial and how Microsoft Intra ID, formerly known as Azure Active Directory, plays a key role in keeping your environment protected. Over the next few minutes, our goal is to equip you with the right insights, frameworks, and practical steps so you can strengthen your security posture and protect your organization's most valuable data. So let's just get started. Can you please go to the next slide? So, we have the speakers, Osama Aziz, as our Senior Director Engineering at Confiz, leading our F&O practice. We'll be sharing, his perspective and insights on why securing your D365 is so crucial. Along with me, we have Sikandar Ali, who is Director of Professional Services and the mastermind behind this initiative, and have been safeguarding D365 environments for Fortune 500 organizations. And we'll be showcasing a bot at the end of the webinar, which can help you secure your D365 setup. Myself, I've been working with Confiz in the capacity of our Director of Marketing and Growth and have 30 years of product and service marketing experience. So let's move on to the agenda. So here's a quick look at what we'll cover today. We'll start with a brief introduction about Confiz, global engagements, and then move on into the heart of this session, which is identity-driven security for D365. We'll highlight the key risks and remedies when it comes to D365 and Azure security, and showcase the real business value of Intra ID. From there on, we'll walk you through with the practical steps and a security checklist, and finally wrap things up with a quick bot demo to show you how Confiz helps secure D365 ERP in action. About Confiz, so before we dive into today's topic, so a quick word about Confiz. We are a global technology consulting company with over 19 years of experience, including Fortune 100 firms to drive digital transformation. Our expertise spans Microsoft Dynamics 365, data and AI, cloud and security, and we are backed by 700 consultants that are with global multiple delivery centers. So we partner with leading providers like Microsoft, Google Cloud, AWS, Databricks, and Snowflake, while also investing heavily in learning and development through partners like Udemy, Microsoft, and LinkedIn Learning. So in short, we help organizations modernize, scale, and secure their digital landscape with confidence. In terms of our global engagements, so we have, we work with enterprises and mid-sized companies across North America, GCC, APAC, and Europe. Our customers span, multiple industries from retail, fashion, F&B to healthcare, automotive, fintech, and consulting. So a lot of the brands that you might have seen before, with names like Walmart, Procter & Gamble, Hermès, Swiss Arabian Perfumes, and Flying Tiger Copenhagen. So this diverse footprint not only reflects our scale, but also trust leading organizations place in our power to secure their digital transformation journeys. So quickly moving on to the our topic of the day, which is securing your Microsoft Dynamics 365, and I will be passing it on over to Mohammed Osama Aziz to take it from here over.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Mohammed Osama Aziz, and I will be starting today's session by talking about why security is such a critical topic for organizations using Microsoft Dynamics 365. My colleague will then talk you through how to address these challenges and how Confiz and Microsoft partner help companies strengthen their security posture. Okay, so let's start why security is such a vital concern when it comes to 365. Most of the companies use biz apps that sit at the core of their business, which holds sensitive financial data, including payroll information, customer records, supply chain data, and much more. A breach here isn't just about data loss. It can lead to legal and financial repercussions such as fines for non-compliance with regulations like GDPR and HIPAA, operation disruptions, slowing down your entire business, and perhaps most damaging, loss of customer trust and long-term reputation harm. According to IBM's 2024 report, The average cost of data breach is nearly $4.88 billion. That's why security can't be treated as an afterthought. It must be core part of your Dynamics 365 strategy. So Microsoft Dynamics takes a modern approach to security by being entirely identity driven, and that identity is managed through Microsoft Entra ID. Few of the key features that provide a strong foundation are centralized authentication. All user authentication is managed through Entra ID. There is no local password management inside 365 itself. Second is multi-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of protection and reduces the risk of credential-based attacks by over 99%. The third is conditional access. This feature helps organizations enforce policies based on factors like location, device type, or sign-in risk. Privileged identity management. This feature helps admin control access through just-in-time permissions and provide full audit tracking. So the question that we need to ask is, all these features are built into Python ecosystem. So why do we need companies to enhance security? So the key difference between a company that is secure and that is prone to risk is how effectively we have implemented these policies. And that makes a huge difference. And that's where many organizations face challenges. So despite these built capabilities, companies still encounter significant risk if the right strategies aren't in place. So here are some of the common trends that we normally face. The first is the data breaches. So either through compromised accounts or misconfigured access. The second is the regulatory non-compliance, which are falling audits due to weak controls or incomplete logging. The third is the operational downtime caused by ransomware or the security incidents. The next is the unauthorized access, especially when roles and privileges are not matched up properly. Cost and resource abuse when unused or unmonitored resources derive of your expenses. The last is the reputational damage, the long-term impact on customer trust. In the next section, we will be discussing how to mitigate this and what are the solutions available to make your environment secure. But the key question here to ask is, for the audience is, do you know about these threats or have you heard about these threats? So feel free to drop in the questions that you have on the chat and we can answer over the period of time. Okay, so strengthening your security isn't about avoiding problems, it has a clear business impact. Companies that properly implement strong identity and security controls see a significant cost savings. Based on different surveys, companies save around 1.53 million annually by preventing breaches and avoiding fines. We have list down some of the common breaches like MFA and rule-based access control security. So based on like 400 to 750K, the company saved by having policies regarding MFA and rule-based security. And overall, as part of security metrics, 27 to 30% of the breaches account for this percent. In other words, good security is an investment with measurable return on investment. And securing your D365 begins with securing your identity. Inter ID is at the core of its strategy and it provides governance, compliance, and advanced access control necessary to protect your most sensitive business systems. I will now hand it over to Sikandar, who will deep into this, that how we can migrate this can be mitigated and how we can help customers secure their D365 environments.
Thank you for sharing the information. So, as we have discussed, the Dynamics 365 holds some of the most sensitive business data in finance, HR operations, and customer information. So, because of this, security has to be the top priority. Best practices start with the strong identity management. That means that using Entra ID, enforcing multi-factor authentication, and applying conditional access policies to control how and where users sign in. Next is the role-based security. Every user should have the permissions they need, nothing more. We use built-in roles, custom roles, and even field-level security to protect sensitive information like salaries or financial records. So it is important to secure the environment themselves. So we should keep the development, testing, and production separate, enable auditing and logging, and make sure only trusted admins handle solution imports or exports. So finally, we can say that security is not a one-time setup. It's a continuous process. We should monitor activity using the tools like Microsoft Defender for Clouds and Sentinel, set up alerts for unusual activity, and run regular access reviews. So when we combine identity protection, least privileges, access, strong monitoring, and governance, we build a layered defense that keeps Dynamics 365 safe and compliant. Securing identity is like securing your ERP. It is because Entra ID is the basic and the only default supported identity platform for Dynamics 365 authentication. What it means is that every login, every access request, and every permission is managed centrally through Entra ID. By using Entra ID, we can enforce strong authentication methods such as multi-factor authentication, apply access policies, take advantage of advanced governance features like access management, privileged identity management, and access reviews. So securing your ERP really starts with the securing your identity. If we don't control who has access and under what conditions, the rest of the security layers become weaker. With Android, we ensure that ERP access is not only secure but also compliant and aligned with organizational policies. So when it comes to securing the Dynamics 365, there are several key mitigation steps every organization should follow. The threats we have already shared in detail, and I will be talking about the mitigation steps now. So first of all, always enable multi-factor authentication. This single step can block the majority of common identity-based attacks. Second, implement role-based access control. Users should have only the minimum permissions needed for their job, nothing more. And third, ensure that all the data is encrypted both at rest and in transit. This protects sensitive business and customer data from being intercepted or exposed. Fourth, isolate critical workloads. Keep your most sensitive systems separate and apply strict security controls to the system. Fifth, practice continuous threat monitoring. Tools like Microsoft Defender and Sentinel can help detect unusual activities before they escalate into major incidents. And finally, conduct regular audits. Reviewing access rights, logs, and configurations ensure that your environment stays compliant and secure over time. Together, these steps create a layered defense strategy that significantly reduces the risks. So, as we discussed earlier, securing Dynamics 365 really starts with identity, and that's why Entra ID plays such a central role. Once we have strong authentication and access controls in place, we can build additional layer of protection on top. The best practices to keep in mind are straightforward but very effective. First, enforce least privilege through role-based security so users only have access they need. Second, protect sensitive information with field level and record level security. Third, secure the environments themselves. Keep development, test, and production separate. Enable the auditing and restrict admin activities like solution imports and exports. As we also highlighted in the mitigation steps, continuous monitoring is essential. Tools like Microsoft Defender for cloud apps and Sentinel gives us real-time detection and response. And finally, governance ensure long-term protection. Access reviews, compliance checks, and data loss prevention policies keep the environment both secure and aligned with the regulations. So building on what we have already covered, these best practices give us a comprehensive and layered approach to securing Dynamics 365. So at Confiz, we don't just provide recommendations, we become a trusted partner in securing 365 and Azure environment. We start with comprehensive security assessments, identifying gap, access compliance, and data protection. Then we move into implementation of best practices such as we enforce multi-factor authentication, enable the encryption, setting up role-based access control, deploying continuous monitoring through Microsoft Defender for cloud. And beyond implementation, our team ensures governance and compliance by applying Azure policies, automated monitoring, and periodic audits. So security is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing framework. Most importantly, we bring in deep expertise with Microsoft technologies, which means we can align your security strategy with your business processes, ensuring both protection and operational efficiency. With Confiz, you gain not just a vendor, but a long-term partner committed to making your ERP and cloud infrastructure secure, compliant, and resilient against threats. So as we have just discussed in the earlier slide, securing Dynamics 365 ERP is not just about technology, it's about people, processes, and continuous governance. Identity access, encryption, monitoring, and compliance all play a crucial role. And when combined, they create a strong defense. But the reality is, many organizations struggle to put all these layers together in a way that is both secure and practical for day-to-day operations. That's where Confiz comes in. We don't just deploy tools, we partner with you to design and implement a security framework tailored specifically to your Dynamics 365 ERP environment. Our team of experts bring deep technical knowledge of Microsoft security ecosystem from Entra ID to Defender to Sentinel and combines it with the real world ERP security experience. With Confiz, you gain a trusted partner who will help you enable multi-factor authentication, enforce least privileges access, protect sensitive data, and set up advanced monitoring and threat detection. We also guide you on compliance and governance, ensuring your ERP environment not only stays secure, but also meets industry standards like GDPR, ISO, or financial regulations. Ultimately, our goal is to give you peace of mind, knowing that your critical business data is protected, your risks are minimized, and your ERP environment is resilient against modern cyber attacks. With Confiz, you are not just buying a service, you are gaining a long term security partner invested in your digital success. Security assessment is more than just a quick scan, it's a structured and in depth evaluation of the entire cloud environment. The goal is to identify risk, confirm compliance, and ensure that the security controls in place are truly effective. The assessment typically begins with identity and access management. Since compromised identities are the most common entry point for attackers, here we check enter ID configurations, roles, assignments, privileged accounts, and whether multi-factor authentication and conditional accesses are enforced or not. After this, we look at the infrastructure and network configurations. This include reviewing your virtual networks, your firewalls, network security groups, VPN connections, and DDoS protection, and how you are connecting the virtual machines hosted in your Azure. So misconfigurations in these areas can expose workloads to the internet or allow lateral movement inside your environment. The third area is the data protection. We validate whether data is encrypted at rest and in transit, how encryption keys are managed, and whether sensitive information is isolated and protected with policies like Azure Information Protection or Key Vault. We also assess monitoring and logging. This means checking if Defender for Cloud, Microsoft Sentinel, and Azure Monitor are in place and properly configured. Without these, even the best security controls can't detect or respond to real-time threats. And other important step is compliance validation. The assessment maps the current environment against regulatory requirements such as ISO, GDPR, HIPAA, or financial compliance standards. This gives leadership a clear view of where they stand and what gaps need to be addressed. Finally, we provide a roadmap of recommendations. This cover quick fixes like enabling MFA as well as long-term strategies like zero trust adoption, workload isolation, or governance improvement. So in short, a security audit assessment not only highlights the threats, but also validates strengths, checks compliance, and lays down a clear action plan for securing the entire infrastructure hosted in Azure and your ERP. So this is the slide where we are showing you a sample report. This slide shows an example of what an security assessment report might look like. Here, the report is generated for a specific subscription. The summary gives us a quick snapshot of the security posture with comparison to similar organizations. First, the subscription status is marked as enabled. This usually means essential security or monitoring services are enabled, which means the threats will be noticed and you will be receiving the alerts. The compliance score is 82%, which is good. This shows that most regulatory or industry required controls are applied. For a business, that could mean being non-compliant with standards like ISO, GDPR, HIPAA, or financial regulations. The subscription security score is also satisfactory, which is signaling that there are no threats or misconfigurations that could exploit by the attackers. The backup policy is also defined. That's also a good thing. And because without proper backup and recovery in place, the organization is vulnerable to permanent data loss in case of ransomware, accidental deletion of or infrastructure failures. All of these findings combined into an overall risk level of medium. Now, why does medium it is medium, and what does medium risk mean for the business? It means that the environment is partially exposed to potential breaches, financial penalties for non-compliance, reputational damage, and even operational downtime. In other words, this report is a yellow flag that more configurations are required to close gaps, improve compliance, and safeguard critical data.
All right.
So,
So I think we have a question in the chat. Kapil is asking that, Confiz have, I mean, is this the product which Confiz owns, like SEIM or something that helps organization in these security audit assessments? Sikandar or Osama would be great if you guys can
Yeah.
please answer this.
Yeah, let me answer this question. So, Kapil, we don't have this product like you have mentioned, but we offer comprehensive assessment that will help you identify the risk the risk you carry. So, we offer two type of assessments. One that's going to just showed, and the second we will demo in the later stages as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Osama. Sikandar, you can continue.
So, our review highlighted a few important areas that need attention during that assessment, for which we have submitted or shared this sample report. So, currently, multiple people have full subscription ownership, which reduces accountability and increases risk. Alerts are not enabled for some of the resources, budgets, or subscriptions. So, potential issues or overspending could go unnoticed. Self-service password reset policy is defined only for some specific users, which create inefficiencies and inconsistent user experience. Conditional access policies are not defined and are not fully implemented. These are defined, but these are not fully implemented. Like a policy is applied on a few users and not on all the users. So this leaves a gap in how secure access is enforced. Finally, we found some services with unrestricted network access, which could expose the environment to external threats. Strengthening these areas will not only reduce risk, but also improve operational efficiency and cost control. Now that we have walked through what a sample security assessment reports look like, we will move to a quick demo. In this demo, we will showcase our security assessment bot, which we have created. Instead of generating the full reports after the physical assessment, the bot engages with the users by asking some key security related questions, and based on their answers, it provides a high level view of their possible security posture. This helps organization get an instant sense of where they stand and what areas may need further attention. So I shall be now moving to the board, and I shall be.
In the meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, would love to see in the chat if you can share it, and we'd be happy to answer.
So this is our bot, which is published on our website. This is a simple bot, and it asks for the simple questions like, first of all, it will ask for your name. If I give my name over here and my work email, what is your company name? So you shall be receiving the bot link with an access code after this session. So you will have to put the code over here. So here comes the part, the first question of the assessment. It is asking about the role-based access control, that whether it is implemented or not. If I say it's not implemented, The next question is multi-factor authentication is enforced or not. Third one is single sign-on enabled for all integrated service applications. I will say no. Are conditional access policies implemented? Not sure. Is a password protection policy implemented? Sure. Yes. Is Microsoft Defender for Cloud enabled and properly configured? Azure identity is auditing and logs being monitored. Are Azure resources being accessed securely? Are network connections between Azure resources segmented and restricted properly? So after when I submit all these answers, it will take some time and it will send a report on my email. So just for this session, I have already downloaded a report. It will take some time in sending the report. So I will be sharing the report over here. So this kind of report you will be getting in your email that this is a report which is generated by Confiz 365 secure check bot. And this is the date of assessment and what this is my name and my company name and introduction. This is a summary that what you will be getting in this report or what is it summarizing. So this report summarizes the results of your 365 security self-assessment. The insights are based solely on your responses and are intended to highlight areas where best practices appear to be followed and where improvements may be needed. So what are the key observations? Based on the answers you have provided or I have provided to the bot, it shares some key observations. Like I have said that I have not implemented the RBAC. So it is saying that there are significant gaps in IAM controls with RBAC, least privileges, MFASs or password protection policy is not implemented. Conditional access is uncertain and needs review. Threat protection and security monitoring, auditing and log monitoring is a strength, but Defender for Cloud configuration is unclear and requires further assessment. Network and secure resource security. If we talk about network and resource security, secure access and network segmentations are well implemented, providing strong protection for resources. So the overall Dynamics 365 infrastructure is not secure as per the answers which I have provided to the bot. And the secure is around 28.80%. So, and in this chart, we have just put all the answers and divided the questions into the security areas. Like some of the questions were related to identity and access management and how much percent you are secure over there and what is the recommended score or industry leader score which are highly secured. The same companies like you who are highly secured, they are at 95% in IAM security. And as per my information, which I have provided to the bot, I am only 4% secure. And if you talk about threat protection and security monitoring, the industry leaders are at 90%. Most of the industry leaders, the average leaders are at 90%, and we are at 60%. And network and resource security, leaders are at 85%, we are on the 100%. So this is basically a sample report, and this is generated on the questions which bot asked, and we have provided the answers. So let's come back to the PowerPoint slides.
Yes, in the meanwhile, we have got a question from Kapil again. It's about what places have you added the security weightage in the report? Can you please share the little technical details? Would love to, see what are the technical details based on the weightage that you guys are typically, giving the security weightage to.
If we talk about the security weightage, so as per the best practices and we have made the benchmark, used the benchmark used by Microsoft, because Microsoft is we are using Microsoft products like Microsoft Dynamics CRP and Microsoft Azure. So the benchmark is obviously from the Microsoft side. that IAM has the maximum weightage, and then comes the network part, and so all these things are covered in the in calculating the weightage.
All right. Thank you so much, Sikandar and Osama, for giving us a brief overview about how one can secure their existing D365 environment. If you have any questions, so feel free to reach out to us at the details that we have highlighted over here. I have also shared the assessment link in the chat. You can sign up. We'll send you a code through which you can, which apparently through this assessment or the bot that we have developed, it will help you reveal vulnerabilities around your existing D365 setup. In the meanwhile, people who have registered and attended the webinar, they will be getting a dedicated invitation in terms of accessing the bot along with the codes. So feel free to share the bot and share your feedback at marketing@confiz.com if there is any question that you want to ask. So we have like a few minutes left. Otherwise, we are good to go. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. We'll be in touch soon.